Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Trade with Precision free newsletter. Today I just want to give you a quick market overview or a market outlook on the four major index markets that we trade, and then I want to quickly discuss with you an exciting online future symposium that TradeStation is putting on shortly. So the first market I want to look at is the YM, and I'm going to look at this at a very high level from sort of the dailies, maybe down to the 240s. Because I think it's very important, regardless if you're trading off tick charts or 1 minute charts, you must know what the daily time frames are doing, especially in the sense of where major support and resistance is on those charts. Because so often I hear people say, well, I'm trading from 1 minute chart, it's irrelevant what the daily chart's doing. Not true. If you're trading in the direction of the daily chart, and you know where the daily support and resistance levels are, it can only but benefit your trading. It really is important, and it can make all the difference, really, in my opinion. So the first one I'll look at is the YM. So you can see here I've drawn a couple of lines on here. Obviously 11,000 was a strong resistance point. Sort of really struggled through here. Had a couple of bites of the cherry here to get through. Couldn't do it, came up, really struggled along this level here as well before finally pushing on and breaking up through. And then it found some more resistance at 11,100. You can see here, hit many days in a row along here. Now has finally just broken up through that and seems to be pushing on quite nicely. Now I like this, the indicators are still pushing up higher. It looks great. Now if I zoom out a bit and find out where the next potential support and resistance is, the next resistance is right back here. You can see that level. If I just zoom in and then take you over to that level, that level is at 11,360 essentially. So from the current prices right now, we could potentially see another 200 point move before I can see any sort of resistance coming up whatsoever. There's no signs here that this is going to have a pullback, in my opinion, for potentially maybe another 200 points there. So I do like that moving forward. Now coming over to the ES, now this is very similar to the YM in the sense that we had some, probably not as major resistance as we did on the YM, more minor term, about a week's term of resistance through here, has broken up through it, and now has a sort of a 20 point odd run until the next resistance at 1200 there. So ES and the YM looking very similar right now. And it'll be interesting to see, especially with the ES, if it can break through this very strong level here at 1200. But I think between now and there's every chance it's got a good run to get up to there before it's going to find any resistance. So now let's have a look at the Nasdaq. Now looking at the Nasdaq here, now you can see at the current, it had a strong resistance here at 2050, has broke through that, came back, retested it, holding well on these moving averages and is pushing higher. Now this looks all okay here. There's nothing really too concerning about this. And if you look out, zoom out to see what the next resistance point, we've probably got right up to sort of 2180. So we've still got another sort of 70 odd points there before the next resistance. So that all looks fine on that level to keep on pushing higher. But if we were to come out to the weekly, so that was a daily chart, we come out to the weekly, this is what does concern me slightly. On the weekly, we are pushing to higher highs compared to this high here, but look at these averages. The averages aren't keeping up. Has had a very big push up, and potentially, you know, this one I'm a bit unsure about this. I'm not really committing one way or the other, but based on this, I think there is a chance we could see this pulling back into this buy zone around here in the averages. But at the same time, we had this strong rejection candle last week, which is a very bullish sign as well. So I'm getting some conflicting sort of reports there on the weekly chart. So at this point in time, I'm just going to be sticking to the daily trend here. Looks strong. No reason really to tell me that it's going to end. So as far as I'm concerned with the Nasdaq, we should see a strong push higher for the start of this week anyway. Now the Russell's probably lagging slightly behind the other index markets here, in the sense that this pattern we're seeing here, this sort of week's consolidation at a reasonably strong resistance point, is what a lot of the other index markets were looking like last week, and they've already broken out through this, have come back, retested it, and are pushing on higher, and are coming up to test sort of these next old highs here. So Russell is lagging slightly, but that that could mean that A, it's not going to get through this and really fall off, or B, it might pop through this and get a good rally and catch up to the other index markets. At this point in time, really sitting on my hands with the Russell and waiting and seeing what it's going to do in relation to this 710 level. So we'll just have to wait and see there. A break above that, I think you could see a nice push higher, maybe a false breakout. You could see that definitely rolling over. So we'll just have to wait and see there. Now I'm just going to bring you up this web page that talks about this future symposium that I want to talk to you about that TradeStation's putting on. Now finally, I just want to discuss the online future symposium that TradeStation's putting on. Now it's online, so you can watch it from anywhere in the world in the comfort of your own home. It's only $99. I think it's a fantastic deal at that price. There's some fantastic speakers, but most importantly of all, we got Nick McDonald speaking. The founder of Trader Precision is going to be speaking and giving a very interesting talk on how to trade the afternoon session in the index futures, which is a perfect session for a lot of people in the world to trade, as they've either gotten home from work and can trade in the evenings, or depending if it maybe in the southern hemisphere, you can wake up in the mornings and you can catch that afternoon session. So it's a good session for a lot of people to be trading. There's a lot of money to be made there, and Nick's going to show you some really good strategies that he uses day upon day to make good money in the index futures markets. So do check this out. I'm going to put the link up to get on this. Will be coming up now on your screen. So go there, have a look, see who's speaking, see what they're talking about, and for $99, I think it's a bargain to be had by all. Okay guys, have a great week's trading, and I'll speak to you again soon.